Hey, and welcome to Turo Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode.
Hey, it's Turo here, and welcome back to the Turo Fitness Podcast. Today I want to talk something that might completely change how you approach your health and fitness journey. This topic came to me after I sent out last week an email about sleep tracking. And so I got so many replies to that email that I haven't had for a long time. So people were sharing their sleep hours, their struggles, their wins. And I realized something very important. So most of us want to track our habits, but we are often tracking the wrong things. So in this episode, we are going to talk about 80-20 rule and opposite, like that, how that 20% of your actions create 80% of your results, and how you can use that principle to simplify your health, your tracking, and your progress. By the end, you will know exactly what to track in your situation and what to ignore and how to make tracking feel effortless and not obsessive. So because there is a problem, what I have seen is that when you want to track everything, so it becomes overwhelming. And usually when people are starting a new health plan, when they are going to their health journey, and they often want to do it perfectly. And you are tracking your every calorie, every macro, every gram of food, every minute of cardio, every burned calorie, and it's getting too much because often what I often see is after 2 weeks you are burning out, you are quitting, and because you are getting simply overwhelmed and you are stopping. So the problem isn't tracking itself, it's tracking too much and tracking what doesn't matter and what doesn't move the needle. So because the honest truth is that you don't need to track everything. You need to track the right things and things that move the needle the most. And that's where the kind of that principle of or 80-20 rule comes in. So it's roughly 20% of your actions that are creating 80% of your results. So if you find and focus on that 20%, you will simplify your life and speed up your progress, because that honest truth is that you are most of the people, they are tracking wrong things. Of course, more you are tracking, more you are doing things, and you might think that you need to do everything. But the honest truth is that it's often less is more, and this is very true about training. If I think like I have been lucky to work with high level athletes, and they love simplify things. It's not that they need new things every single time. It's just focusing on those core principles and repeating them. And it's just in the ice hockey world, I have been lucky to work with the best coaches in the world, Stanley Cup winners. And the honest truth is that you think that they might have something, what is the secret, or some new drills or something what makes them special to be able to coach at the highest level in the world. But the truth is that they do things actually very simple and focus on details, do those daily habits very well. And this applies. You might not be a top level athlete, but this principle applies to your day-to-day life and habits, what you are actually doing. So what are those 20% of actions that are creating 80% of results? Obviously, this is for every person different, depending at which point you are on your fitness journey, what goals you have. And for most of my clients and for myself, it comes down to four things. And I call them my core four plus sleep. So what is number one is your workouts. So most of the women I work, they might be tracking, they are doing their workout, and then when it's done, it's done. You are working so hard, and you are doing something which is obviously better than nothing, better than not doing anything, but you can start to make amazingly more progress when you start to track your workouts. So what I mean by tracking is that it's something called progressive overload, and it means that you are always trying to do more. And for most women I work, they might be working out from home, like most of my clients do. They have a pair of dumbbells. They are using always the same weight. Maybe they start with the 2 kilos or 3 kilo dumbbells. They do whole workout with the same dumbbell, and then they are obviously they know that they have to try to improve, and then they are taking 3 kilo or adding 1 kilo more or 2 kilo more of their dumbbells and doing whole workout with the same workouts. The problem is that if you do your whole workout with using same pair of dumbbells, for some of your muscles, like smaller muscles like shoulders, you will have an amazing workout because it's gonna be very hard. Some, like if you think that the muscles like the shoulders, they are so much smaller than, for example, some bigger muscles like your back or your glutes. And if you use the same weight for each exercise, it's for your glutes, for example, which is a bigger muscle, stronger muscle, they will have like warm up. And if you think that your shoulders, you do the lateral raises, shoulders on the side, and for that muscle, it's using that weight. It might be almost too much, and it feels very hard, very heavy. But then on your glutes, you do some deadlifts or squats. It feels easy. Of course, you might think that you do maybe a couple more repetitions, but you are nowhere near to close to failure. So what is how you are actually then doing it, or what you should be doing? You should be writing, like what I encourage to all my clients in my one-on-one coaching program, in my challenges, in my membership coaching, that track your workouts. So you have to actually, when you have I create program for you, or you have your program, and what you have to do every week. Let's say that you have usually, maybe it's for 1 month, you should have same program for every month. Then you change for next 4 weeks for another program, because the problem is that if you have every week new program, your body don't have time to adapt. Of course, it's maybe not that boring, but when you do random workouts, you won't give chance to your body to improve. So the most effective way is to have a same program. Usually it's 3 to 5 weeks, and you are tracking everything. So for example, this is my this change. I was the person. 5 years ago who was just thinking that, I just do some workouts, I feel great after a workout. But what changed everything when I started to track my own workouts? I did it when I was younger, but then I thought that because I didn't have any more I like kind of workout goals, or I wasn't working out for my performance. So I started to simply, first of all, to have a program, what I follow, what I know exactly what to do. And then I started to track my workout. So adding, if I have in my program, I had, let's say, 12 repetitions. I was able to do 15, I changed amount of repetitions, how many I was doing, and then I wrote down how much weight I used. And now I have been doing this now over 4 years, and it's so interesting and it's so kind of rewarding to see in my workout app. When I look back, what I see for each exercise, there is a training history. So I go back, I look when I have done this exercise last time, because it remembers all exercises I have been doing, what I have been tracking. And I go back, I looked at, okay, 2022, I was doing 10 repetitions with 60 kilos. Now I'm doing same amount of repetitions with 70 or 80. And it's so rewarding to see what you are actually, that when you are getting stronger, you are improving. And then that is the kind of key for everything. So use weight that challenges you, that you don't need to go until failure, but it should be like little discomfort. It's not, it's a difference. If it, like in a words that my clients often use, that especially women, they say that this feels already heavy, it's enough. But if you don't make an ugly face, if you don't, if you are, you can imagine to do, let's say, 3 or more repetitions with the weight you are using. Let's say that you have in your program 12 repetitions, and you are doing it like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you are in your 12th repetition, and you could still be doing like, let's say, 5 more. That is too less weight. You have to add more resistance. And this is also something what I get often message when I sign new strength workout. I get the message that this feels too easy. But if you are using weights, if you have a strength workout with dumbbells, it feels too easy. The problem isn't the program, it's the weights you are using. Because if you are pushing yourself close to failure, close to your limits, workout which has exercises with weights shouldn't feel that it's easy. So it should challenge you every single time. And when you are starting to track, like for example, in my workout app, when I track my own workouts, I see it recommends me right away amount of weight based on my last repetitions, last time when I have done that exercise. Let's say that I have been doing 15 repetitions, and next program I have only 5. So it's hard to guess or know how much weight I should be using. But there comes the app in, it counts automatically. Like, it's of course it's always recommendation, but what it could be that you have a little bit better understanding how much your starting weight should be. And then it's kind of week 1 is always kind of trial error. You are trying what amount of weight. If you are, let's say that you have 10 repetitions first set, you are able to do easily those 10, and then you are going to the next set. You, in the first set, you can of course you can do, or you should be doing a couple more repetitions if you are able to, and then for the second set you should be already adding more weight and see how it feels. So tracking your workouts and what you are actually doing, that is probably the most beneficial habit, because that keeps your metabolism high, it builds muscle, and it improves your mood. So then step number 2, or second thing, what I would be tracking is your amount of steps. So most of people, you might be doing it, you might have it in your phone, but if you are setting your step goal, like I love to use like a weekly step goal, because or it's kind of both. It's a daily goal and it's a weekly goal, but it's in the end what matters more is weekly average. So of course there is coming a days that you might not be moving that much, and then you might be doing, like for example, weekend longer walk outside. So it's in the end what matters is your total number of week. But of course those daily values, like for me, I'm my work when I'm coaching, it's pretty active. So I'm standing a lot. I'm walking all the time without even noticing it. And it's just that when you set your amount of steps, what you are aiming for example, if it's 10,000 steps per day, it's 70,000 per week. So that is if one day you get 5,000, you make 2 days 12,500, you get into your goal. And what you should be aiming for, what is a good level, it of course it always depends what you are averaging at the moment. Like the 10,000 is not some magical number. There is actually very several studies how much you should be actually, like, there is no additional health benefit adding more than 14,000 steps per day. Like if you are like, I average around 14,000, but if you go above that, there is no real health benefits anymore. Of course, it is there is some benefits, but for your health, if you get up to that number, there is no additional. If you get 14 or 15 or 16, there is no really health benefits. But if you the biggest game changer is around if you are at the moment, if you are 4,000, 5,000 steps, you are able to add 2,000 steps per week. Like I usually, like if I look always where my clients are at, what they average at the moment before we are setting new goals. So it's not just some random number that you have to get 10,000 steps per day. No, it depends on your situation. If you are averaging at the moment 5,000, maybe sustainable progress would be to get 5,500 per day or 6,000, but never more than 6.5. So of course then it's already kind of unrealistic. So this is number 2, what I would be tracking. Maybe if you are already doing it, amazing. That's there is no more things what you should be doing. Then step number 3, what I would track is your protein and fiber. So because those are your nutritional anchors. Of course, calories are very beneficial. It helps, but for me at the moment, like of course it depends what your goals are. Like if your goal is to change your body composition, tracking calories, it's the game changer. But especially if you don't want to get too obsessive about tracking every single calorie, every single gram what you are eating, the most beneficial nutritional habits is making sure you are eating enough protein and enough fiber. So protein, it supports muscle, helps to recover faster, and helps with satiety. So you are going to feel fuller when you are eating these like protein and fiber. You are going to feel fuller, and automatically you are going to eat something else less. So it's kind of win-win situation, and without even noticing, you are eating less calories. So that's why tracking your protein intake and making sure that you are eating enough, it's so beneficial. Like and you don't need to get obsessive. Like, and how to actually then do it? Like first of all, you should aim for 1.6, 2.2 grams per kilo body weight. I like to keep it in a lower range, like around 1.5, 1.6 per kilo body weight, or your goal body weight if you have a lot of weight to lose. So it don't need to be, if you weigh at the moment, let's say 120 kilos, and if you aim for 2 grams per kilo body weight, that's 240 grams of protein, and that is a lot of protein. So here, finding, like, taking your ideal weight, multiplying that with 1.5, 1.6, and then see how it goes. That's kind of how to set your protein goal. And then fiber, it supports your digestion, hormones, and gut health. So, and also it's one of the most filling macronutrient or foods what you could be eating. And when you are prioritizing these two, or those most other nutrition problems usually fix themselves without paying even attention. And then step number 4, what I would be, and by the way, fiber, what I forgot to say, how much is the goal? Because this is often like people have no idea. It's around 27 to 35. Like usually for females, recommendation is 27. For males, it's 35. But it don't need to be. If you get around 30 grams fiber per day, that's more than enough. And if you don't know how much fiber each food have, for example, use Google, ChatGPT, AI. You will find how much like fruits, berries, all whole grain products they are foods which are high in fiber. So look a little bit what you are eating at the moment. Ask yourself what else you could be adding. And usually, like for me, how I do it, it's I make sure that my breakfast and that I have because I don't have always control on my what I'm eating on my lunch. I love my wife. My wife is cooking in the evening. She is not always counting or basically never counting every single gram of fiber or protein. But I make sure with my habits, with the meals I have most control of, that I get at least half of my protein already before lunch. So how I do it, I have my breakfast. My goal is to get around 150 grams of protein per day. And I try to get 75 grams of protein before lunch already. So then it's almost automatically, even I might have some meal where it's not that much protein, but at least I have my bare minimum already in the morning. And how I do it, my breakfast, 50 grams of protein, it's 250 grams of Greek yogurt mixed with 2-3 seasonal fruits or berries. And then I add scoop natural protein powder, whey powder. And there I have my around 50 grams of protein for my breakfast. Then for snack, it's usually something 25 grams of protein, depending on season. I love having cottage cheese. Here in Italy, we have a low-fat grade cheese. It's some people don't like the taste. I actually am a weirdo. I enjoy it. Or then I might have a second protein shake. I use casein protein. Just I personally like to have two different type of proteins. So if I choose to get it in a powder form, it's a different type of protein, but that is just on a days where I can't have protein with me, eggs, whatever you enjoy. It's not, of course, natural food sources are a lot better than those like protein shakes or especially bars. Protein bars I quit eating, or I try to limit them pretty much because I didn't digest them too well. I don't know if it's about that ingredients what is in, but it just didn't work for me. So I rather have just a regular protein shake or try to stick with the natural food sources. So this is 30 around 30 grams of fiber per day, and you are good. So then step number 4 is your sleep. So, and that is probably the most underrated superpower. So you can do everything else perfectly, but if you sleep 5 hours a night, your progress will stall. And because hormones like leptin and ghrelin, the hunger hormones, they get disrupted, and you will crave sugar, you will feel tired, and your workouts feel 10 times harder. So sleep. And here, this is something what I sent to my email list about how to track actually your sleep. So what you could be actually doing to track your sleep? Like, of course, you might have your watch or something, how you are actually doing it. But for me, what are those habits, sleep habits? Because this is something that you are not maybe always aware what you are going to do, but if you track these habits, what are leading your chances to increase your quantity and especially quality of sleep, is my favorite habits are you getting daylight? So getting daylight before 10 a.m. So that is that makes you, because when you get daylight, ideally it's going to be sun. If it's time of the year that there's no daylight available before 10 a.m., even some natural or how to say, artificial lights like lamps or something, they are better. They help if you are in a very good light before 10 a.m. It makes you tired. It gives your body signals that, okay, it's later on, that now it's time to actually sleep. You are getting tired. But if you are still in a dark room until or you don't see any bright light before 10 a.m., your body won't get tired later. So getting daylight or bright light before 10 a.m. is the habit number one. Then are you drinking caffeine after 2 p.m.? So usually it's around 10 hours before your ideal bedtime. But I like to stick with the 2 p.m. So because my sleep time is it's around 10 a.m. So or 10 p.m. So it's 8 hours before my sleep time. But ideally, it would be 10 hours before your ideal bedtime. So, but for me, if it's just a simple rule, 2 p.m. and it should be more than enough. Then there is something like your wind down routine. So what you are actually doing, there are so many different ways how you could be actually doing it. So the thing, what I said, that this is not just some put some lights off or something, but when you are tracking actually these things, like what you are going to do, like what is like if it's for me it's 10 to 20 minutes total. It's kind of what I call wind down menu. So you could be choosing 1 to 2 of these things what I'm going to tell you, and it takes 10 to 20 minutes total. So calming the body is step number one. It could be 5 to 10 minutes. So it could be breathing exercises, for example, 4 seconds in, 4-second hold, 4-second out, and 4-second hold. So 4 to 6 rounds. So or some long exhale breathing. So 4 in, 6 to 8 seconds out for 5 minutes. And that is calming the body. Like more you focus on exhaling, it calms your body. If you need opposite, if you need to more adrenaline, like you focus on inhaling for longer. So that is the difference, and how wide that breathing and how it actually helps. So then it could be, next step could be quieting your mind. For example, it's again 5 to 10 minutes, and like I said, you don't need to do all of this. You could be choosing 1, 2 of these things what I'm telling, and doing it for 10 minutes, and you are done. That is you could be checking that, okay, you have been doing your calm down or wind down routine. So what is the quieting the mind is like kind of brain dump, like journaling. So what is everything, just what is in your mind, like writing on a paper for 5 minutes, just your thoughts, what is going on in your mind. Like this could be just practicing gratitude, or what is one win from today. It's again, you need only a couple of minutes, or one short page of light reading without screens. You could be setting up yourself for tomorrow, like writing top 3 things, what is tomorrow, time boxes. You could be laying out your workout clothes, preparing your water bottle. Then, of course, there is that environment check, dimming the lights, putting your phone away out of the reach, charge it outside of the bedroom if you can. Like that is, for me, was the game changer when I was charging my phone, because I was thinking that I need to use it for my alarm. But when I actually bought an alarm clock and put my phone away, I didn't wake up. When I woke up, I didn't have my phone, because often what happened was that when I woke up middle of the night, I couldn't fall asleep. Then now I just take a phone, and of course it made things even worse. So bedroom should be only for sleeping, and your phone don't have place when you are sleeping. It's distracting you. You might watch some social media or something. You get full of emotions. Like, that's how social media platforms are designed, to keep you there longer. So you might be getting angry, you might be compassionate. They know you better probably than you know yourself. So they just try to keep you longer. So that is just those quick things what you could be doing. And like I said, don't try to do all of these, but this is just a quick routine what you could be doing. So now let's make this all things like really practical. So you don't need 10 different apps or complicated spreadsheets. So what you can use is to your phone notes, or simply weekly tracker, like a progress scorecard I have shared before. And here is what you actually need to do. For 1 week, track these 4 things daily. Did I do my workouts? Yes or no? And then when you did, track your amount of repetitions, amount of weight you were using. Then how many steps did I take? Did I hit my protein and fiber goals? How many hours did I sleep, and did I do my sleep routine to improve it? That's it. So those 4 questions, and simply yes or no. And so this, you get idea what you are going to get. And at the end of the week, you can rate yourself on each. So you are not aiming for perfection. You are aiming for 80% consistency. And if you get 80% consistent with these 20% habits, you are winning. So these 4 things are what you should be actually doing. So why then this thing, why this is work? So tracking is bringing awareness. Awareness is leading to better decisions, and better decisions lead to results. So this is something like, if you why you should be tracking, like it's saying, if you try to reach something, it's, if you, for example, you want to save more money, it would be of course it's possible to save money without tracking it, but if you are not tracking where you are spending, where you are getting money, chances are that you are not making the best possible progress. If you start to track where you are spending, where you are getting in money, it becomes a lot easier. So this is, and of course, it depends on your personal situation. For me personally, at the moment, what I track, what have been really game changer is my sleep. I really try to stick my sleep routine, my bedtimes. I go to bed at the same time. I have set a bedtime alarm in my phone notes. Apple phone have a sleep time. It winds down automatically. I don't get any more messages after 9:45. It's a sign for me that now it's time to start your bedtime routine. And then by 10:15 latest, I'm in a bed. I have been doing 10-20 minutes of something. It's not every day the same. Some days it's reading, some days it's journaling, some days it's breathing exercises, but it's always something. And then, of course, my workouts, I do track them, because it's such a beneficial way, such a motivating way to see when you are actually making progress. And especially when you feel like that you are not, it feels like, oh, I missed workout, I don't make any progress, I have probably lost my progress. But when you are actually seeing that, oh, I'm at least I'm staying the same. I'm not losing my strength. Even I haven't been perfect with my workouts. It gives the reason why you are actually doing this. And when you are getting improvements in your workouts, often that is what happens for me. Like, all of a sudden, without actually even aiming for improving your body composition, you are looking pictures as the holy shit. I have got stronger, and it changes the way how I also look. And like I said, for me at the moment, I don't have, my goal is simply to maintain the weight. So I don't track my calories, but I do make sure that I hit my bare minimum protein. It's not every day perfect amount of protein, but I make sure that with my habits, that's the system what works for me. With my habits, I have 2, 3 pieces of fruit every single morning. I do have my protein, half of my protein goal every single morning. And just simply doing these things every single day, the rest, it's, it's, it's automatically going to be okay. Or not that worse, of course. There are weeks or times what makes the difference. But with those habits, I have been able to maintain my weight for the past 5, 6 years pretty consistently. Of course, it's changing like a couple kilos more or less, but more or less it stays the same. And I have to say, I'm at the moment I'm not aiming for to changing my body composition. So when you are doing these things, you are starting to notice that maybe if you start to see patterns, why these things are helping. So if you are tracking, for example, your sleep, and you are seeing it that on a days you sleep 7 or more hours, your cravings are like a lot less. And if you on a days when you eat enough protein, you are snacking a lot less. On a days you are walking more, your stress goes down. So these are just patterns what usually happens, and you don't need to just try harder. You just need to see what is working and do more of it. And that's the power of focusing on your 20%. So because what I want to still talk is that what happens when you don't track. So because without tracking, you are guessing. And when you guess, your brain fills the gaps with emotion. So you feel like that you are not making progress, even when you are. You start to doubting yourself. You stop noticing the small wins. But when you track, you build confidence. You start to seeing progress in the data and not just in the mirror or on the scale. And you can say that my average sleep is up 30 minutes. I hit my protein goal 5 days this week. And those are these wins that are compounding. Wins are not that, those are actions you can actually impact with your day by day things. And if you focus on just on mirror, I don't see any difference. My scale is not moving, or it's moving. It feels of course great, but there is not much you can actually focus on. It's just a number. That machine is giving you number, and it should not indicate that how well you are doing. But when you are focusing on these 4 things, tracking, it's only matter of time before you start to see also progress and visible progress. So here is my challenge for you for the next 7 days. Track your core 4 plus sleep. So don't aim for perfection, aim for awareness. Write it down, and at the end of the week, notice your patterns. Then ask yourself, what's the one habit that made the biggest difference in how I feel? And that's your 20%. Double down on that, and you will create momentum faster than any perfect plan. So remember, health and fitness aren't about doing everything right. They are about doing the right things consistently. Track what matters, be 80% consistent, and what's how your results and your confidence start compounding week by week after week. And if you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend who is overwhelmed by tracking everything. And if you want to my free tips, I highly recommend to join my email list. I'll send weekly actionable emails. I will put link to my show notes as a freebie. I give you my 15-day free fat loss program, where I share all these habits I use myself and with my one-on-one clients for you for free for first 15 days. And these are just simple things that you can actually add into your life without feeling overwhelmed. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you in the next one.
Hold up, friend. Do you love Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast.